I want to say to you, my man, as your reverend, I want you to keep on keeping on. Victory is in sight. It may be so high you can't get over it. It's so wide you can't go around it. It's so deep you can't go under it. You got to go in the gate. I'm gonna tell you, in conclusion, he who sits on the red hot stove shall surely rise.
Thank you for taking the time to subscribe, to listen, to join us through the dialogue of this podcast. I appreciate that with much love. First thing we're going to start off with is Poems of Struggle, like we always do with every show. This poem comes from George Jackson, Black Panther revolutionary. Goes something like this. But now with the living conditions deteriorating, and with the sure knowledge that we are slated for destruction, we have been transformed into an implacable army of liberation. George Jackson died in prison after a riot that man created based on his brother having a situation where he was trying to get him free. You guys should really research that. It should be in the history. Don't allow them to tell you about your own history. You find out on your own. Thank you, George. Basically, please support these particular brands. Nubia Apparel. You can go to nubiaapparel.com. They have many beautiful things, shirts, hats, everything of that nature. Please check them out. Nubia.com, spelled NUWBIA.com. Our read is The African Origin of Civilization by Sheikh Anta Diop. Please check that out. You need to read that to get some understanding of what we are doing. Our documentary of the day is Bastards of the Party by the brother Bone out there in Los Angeles. Gives you the whole breakdown of how the Panthers then transformed into the gang culture and things of that nature that's going to help us build and help for the future. Hope that brother is also going through something good with his health conditions. I know about the whole situation. Basically, we're not going to waste any more. We are going into my guest. This brother's done so much for the culture, so much for the people, so much in so many facets, and we're going to communicate about that. Freez Luv, thank you so much, brother, for coming on the show. Go ahead, brother.
Man, what's good with you? How's everything, brother?
Ain't nothing, man. Freeze, I appreciate this, brother. With all the struggle we had to go through to get this done right now, brother, I truly appreciate it.
Man, it's all good, man. And without struggle, what's it worth? You understand?
Absolutely.
It's all good.
Absolutely. Please give the people some type of simple synopsis of your history, brother, so they have a knowledge about you, my brother.
Okay, well, Freez Luv, also known as Paul Farm. I'm a comedian, actor, writer. I've been a comedian for about 23 years now. First movie you might have seen me in was House Party 3. I was one of the ex-con caterers, me and A.J. Johnson. And if you remember him, he was Ezel in Friday.
Absolutely.
Right. Also, I played the role of Hector on the TV show Malcolm and Eddie. You might have seen me on the TV show The D.L. Hughley Show, the movie Baby Boy, the movie Showtime, or maybe see me on Def Jam or Master P. I got the Hooked Up Comedy Jam, or maybe on tour with Charlie Murphy. Or who else? With my man Tim Farrell. This is what I do. I entertain, man. I write and do jokes and act.
That's beautiful. And Freeze, just me doing my due diligence and research and things of that nature, I found out that you also was in the military, my brother.
Yeah, I was man. I went into the military about 2 weeks after I graduated high school.
Wow.
Way back in 1984. So from 84 to 1990, I was in the Army. I served in Berlin, Fort Polk, Louisiana, and Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Wow. Please go into your mindset. Let's go back into that young Freez. Please tell me, what was you thinking, brother?
Well, you know, at the time, I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
And at that period, in the mid-'80s, Los Angeles was hot. The gang culture was really popping.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any felonies yet, and I just wanted to, I wanted to change. I wanted to see something different than Los Angeles.
You're right.
And there wasn't any trust fund or anything like that set aside for me to go to college. I barely went to school. I didn't really like college. I didn't like formal education. I like learning, but I like learning firsthand and from people as opposed to just being taught a curriculum.
You're right.
So, I just thought I think wanting to do something with my life before I felt that my life was over by being thrown in jail or being killed, and LA, it was hot. This is pre-crack. This is pre-NWA. All of that stuff hadn't happened in LA yet.
Wow.
We're talking about 1984. Nobody really even knew what was up with LA when you look at it on a national spectrum. And I didn't even know that until I went in the Army and I met cats from New York and Philly and Baltimore, Chicago, and they was like, "Oh, you from LA? Well, what you do, surf? You a surfer?" And I was like, "Nah, baby, I don't surf." but you can get wet, fool. So, none of that. Nobody knew what was up. NWA wasn't even a rap group yet.
Absolutely.
So but LA was popping. It was. You could really lose your life in LA at that time.
And that's what's Freez, like, because from the outside looking in, brother, we always, like, I grew up in New York City, and I grew up in Brooklyn and Staten Island. I went through many boroughs, and I could go through the stories and saying this was difficult, that was difficult, but I can never say that I was actually say I could walk through a block, and if I wore a certain color, I'm done, like, dead. Like, yeah, I might get cut, I might get jumped, but no, dead. Like, please go into that, brother.
It is something. It's hard to really explain, especially growing up. It is that serious. You would have, you got to understand when you start talking about gang culture in LA. This is something that's been pushed and promoted in just about every negative format you can think of, and then in every positive aspect too.
Absolutely.
So as a kid, it's very confusing. You like, okay, I don't want to die, but at the same time, I'm down for my hood.
Thank you.
And anybody that's not from my hood, he poses a threat. So hoods start wearing different colors. Like, okay, in our hood, this is all blue here. So the same case they're not wearing blue, there's been instantly a flag up, and as far as us understanding, okay, here's someone that is definitely not from this neighborhood.
Exactly.
Because if they were, they would have on the right color.
Thank you.
So, this is, and then again, also, you got to remember, when you're talking about gang banging and gangs, you're talking about rules and laws that are set up literally by children.
Thank you.
Because I was a kid at this time in life.
You're right.
And everybody involved was a kid. Even if they were 20 years old, that was an adult to us, but that was still a kid. Now that I'm 50 and I look back 20, 25, that's still kids to me, man.
Babies, you right, because Raymond Washington and Tookie and them was like early 20s probably, like late 19, 18 years old or something like that. That's crazy to really think like that. I know those brothers didn't think that was going to come to what it was. Everybody think like that because we was once kids ourselves. So we don't think the mischief that we do is actually going to permeate to our future.
Exactly. That's the thing. Nobody knew that this was something that was going to spread around the world. Nobody knew that it was going to be as violent, and just nobody had any idea that it was going to be what it became to be. Mm-hmm. And then don't forget also you had LAPD who was promoting it And, you know, like they would catch a cat from one neighborhood, beat him up and drop him in a rival neighborhood's territory just to try to get him killed or try to, you know, escalate the situation.
Thank you.
And, you know, that's LA. That is, you know, the gang problem is still here in LA. They try to make it like it's not as bad, and it may not be as bad, but it's definitely still here and still in full effect.
You're right. And that's what's crazy, because that's funny, because when I had my last interview with a brother, Yarima Karama, and we were talking, and I was like, brother, it's the same thing. In 1993, when the brothers put down the flags and we gonna be in peace, the cops wanted to continue the beef. So they would take vehicles from rival neighborhoods, shoot in the other neighborhoods to keep the beef popping, even though brothers was trying to just be in peace because of the Rodney King thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, in the truce in 92, 9 Deuce, the truce in 9 Deuce, I was in Jordan Down projects for the truce signing. I was involved heavily. You know, we had the riots going on in LA at that time that had just ended. And the truce, you know, that was something I never thought I would see, but I saw it. I witnessed it.
Damn.
I witnessed Bloods and Crips. And I'm not talking about little pussy-ass sets either. I mean, bona fide, hard-body sets really put down the flag and everybody stand united. And that was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And one thing that really struck me then and stuck with me to this day is what you have to understand when you talk about gang members, especially in the black community. I don't care what gang you're from, what set you're from, what hood you're from. We are all descendants, living descendants of people that were enslaved in this country, not in some far-off land, right here in this country. So to stand as survivors and living lineage and be at odds with each other and want to do harm to each other, want to do anything except congratulate and help each other, that's a real mind trick, man.
Thank you, brother. And you're so right, Freeze. Yeah, it's crazy that you say that. And that's what's the funniest part. It's just in general, I think it's just, I don't know if it's a mental thing or it's just a thing that has really been beaten into us, brother. And for so many years, so many 100 years, that we really believe that if I look at another brother, he's fucking doing something that make me want to hurt that nigga. It's like, really? You would rather say that, but this dude is busting your head open, but you gonna say, oh, not a problem, Bob. Not a problem, Roger. I'll take it. I'll take another bash in the head. But Rashid, that nigga better not fucking fuck up my lawn, because I kill that nigga. Like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
This is, this is what happens, though. See, this is what happens when you become a survivor, and we're all survivors. Slavery is no joke. That whole process was insane. The atrocities were insane. And the fact that we made it through it, that we're here to tell the tale through our ancestors, through our parents, grandparents, it's like we have to honor them by being unified on every front. We have to, man, because we were unified in slavery. How could we not be unified now that we're not slaves? That doesn't even make sense.
Absolutely. And I think and honestly, brother, that's what I think is lost with the process. Because what I'm doing right now, everything's independent. I'm not going through nobody. I'm not talking through anybody. I'm just doing this on my own. So when I conversate and I talk with brothers that try to get interviews secured and things of that nature, I try to get the vibe from the brother. So when he gets the vibe, what I'm feeling is that if the brother's based on bullshitting or if he really trying to help the people. When I talk with you, brother, or anybody else, it comes to the level as we are collectively needed to come together. But it seems like a lot of these brothers is on some Hollywood bullshit, politic nonsense. And that's what hurts me, because you putting it out to the people as if you're not that.
Right. And, hey, man, I just rather you can't even get mad at this point or get frustrated. You just have to accept people where they are. And hope for the best, because one thing for sure, one thing I know is nothing stays the same. Everything changes. Absolutely. So a cat that may not be down with you today, after life deals with him a little bit, he may be down tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing stays the same. So I don't, people that make it, especially in Hollywood, this is a land of fictitiousness. This is stories. This is not reality. And a lot of people come out here from wherever they come from, whether they come from New York or Florida or wherever.
Exactly.
As soon as they get here, they become someone new, because there's no one that really knows them like that.
Thank you.
And they're trying to get on. They want to be involved in the business. They want to make money. They want to make this move from wherever they came from out here worthwhile. So they start, to me, this is what I've seen, a lot of them start making up stuff and making up reality, and then sooner or later they start believing it. But reality always snaps your ass back. So I just give everybody time and try to love where they're at, man. Because right now it's about unity. It's about being down with each other.
And that's what I'm saying. You right, Freeze. You right. Because honestly, it's like that's what we need at the end of the day, brother. You've seen it. And the problem is that we're not seeing that from our elders. What you're saying out of your mouth right now is beautiful. The problem is with the other ones, they trying to be down with the youth. Don't be down with the youth. You give the knowledge of what you experience and pass that to us, because that can help us, brother. That's the problem I feel with them.
I love the youth. I love y'all, man. But at the same time, I'm not here to always be with y'all. I've done what you did. I did it. I'm not trying to go back to it either. I'm trying to go forward. I'm trying to show you what it's, the ideal way to pass away to me is that as an old man, an old woman surrounded by your grandkids, telling good stories and eating healthy and living well and enjoying the quality of life. Absolutely. That's what it's about, man. Absolutely. That's what it's about. It ain't about how much money you get. It ain't about where you live. That's all an experience, and nothing lasts forever. You may have a lot of money today, but you might not have it tomorrow. You may have the bomb crib today, but you might not have it tomorrow. And you can't let the money or the crib or the clothes or the car make you. You have to have integrity and be proud and stand up who you are when you have absolutely nothing. So that's when it counts. It don't count when you got everything. Anybody could be fly when they got everything, but can you be fly when you got nothing? Damn. That's what the goal is. Be fly when you got nothing.
Damn. And that's what's crazy. It's like they need to understand that, Freeze. It's like the knowledge that you give them right now, brother, they will just look on the basis of that nigga a comedian. He's supposed to be saying jokes. No, these are the people that have the most unbelievable analysis of culture, of people, of human nature, because they can go in it and make you laugh. You know how difficult it is to make a motherfucker laugh? So what you guys do, thank you, it's crazy.
It's like this. It's comedy and tragedy. Wherever you find comedy, there's always going to be something tragic about the situation, and it's vice versa. Whenever you see some tragedy, you have to look for the comedy. Because you got to laugh at yourself. We're all human beings, man. We're all human beings, which means at one point or another, we're all going to be able to be laughed at.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. Nobody wants to be laughed at. Nobody wants to get their ass kicked. Hey, man, that's a part of life, getting laughed at. Getting your ass kicked every once in a while, that's a part of life. You don't have to die from an ass whipping, and you shouldn't have to go kill somebody because you got your ass whipped. That's just a part of life. You get up, you dust off, and you hit it again.
Thank you.
And I just think people don't understand the power of a smile. A smile is the strongest tool you have. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Because you can't smile if you're scared. You can't smile if you're worried. You can't smile if you're in pain. But you have to, because you can't let people know what you think. This is being the positive. Hey, I'm smiling. I might pop your ass, but right now I'm smiling.
And that's what's so right, bro. And you right, because that's what we need to understand. But what hurts me, brother, is that
listen to the song, smile for me. That's what he's talking about, man.
You're right.
You can't let people make you feel afraid to live. You can't make people feel you afraid to deal with them like police. I'm not afraid to deal with the police. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing that's changed is that you may have a few things on video, but ain't nothing changed from now to back when I was a youth. It's still the same thing. You have to treat these guys the same way.
Thank you.
You have to deal with it and look and face the reality. Okay, I'm about to deal with somebody, number one, who's afraid. He's afraid. The cops are afraid. They shouldn't be, but they are.
Exactly.
They're afraid. They're not. You know, this dude is worried about his life. Worried, is he gonna fuck up? Yo, man, put that dude at ease with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's going on? So how you doing, man? Don't. Whatever they got in their mind on how you are, kick it the other way. Don't. You know what I'm saying? I get with the police a lot, and I don't go to jail because to me, I can't let nobody that's not as intelligent as me have their way with me.
You're right.
I'll smart that. You can't let someone who's not as bright as you make you upset and get you all hot and wild and ready to charge. Nah, man, that's a dummy, man. You gotta treat him like a retarded kid, you know?
And that's what it was hard. It was hard, Freeze, because let me just tell you a quick story, brother. Basically, I'm driving with my family. I got 2 boys and I got my wife. We driving in the vehicle. Now, the police officer sees me driving further up. He's in the other lane. He spins his car around, follows me for about 10 minutes, brother. I hit the fucking line. You know, the line that's on the side of the road. I tap it. Brother pulls me over. Okay, not even brother. I'm not even going to say that. Dude pulls me over. So he pulls me over, gives me the whole breakdown. Hey, want to make sure you're okay. You're all right. You're in a good space. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in a great space. I'm all right, man. Thank you for checking on me. Nah, but I need your license registration. Why would you need that if you're just trying to check on me? If you care about me, well, you need to check on my license registration. I say, you know what? All right, not a problem. So then I start seeing Freeze as the conversation and me and him, it start getting tense. Me and him start going back and forth. My wife feeling a little, you know, she don't want nothing to pop off. My kids is feeling a little in that space. So what did I do? I had to recollect and say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to debate, no argue with you. I'm going to let you do your job and we go from there. It could have went left, but that's the thing. And I posted that, brother, because I want my other brothers to understand. It's like we can't let these motherfuckers get us in a space where we go out of character, because it could have been life or death.
Because your main objective and the most important thing for you is making sure your kids and your family is safe.
Thank you.
So if it means that I gotta let this fool think that he's winning to make sure that my family is safe, you gotta let that fool think who cares if he's winning? He won, dummy. The dummy won. Hey, I bowed down. But as soon as he pulls away, I'm back on my way, going to make my money, making sure that my family is safe. And that's what's important.
Absolutely. And you're so right. And that's what's great. And that's what's hard, Freeze. And that's why it's beautiful us having this conversation. Because the brothers that's incarcerated, they listen to this. And I want them to understand, like, brothers, you guys, you made that mistake. But at the end of the day, you can always backtrack from that. And when you come out, do what you need to do. And if you're not able to come out, pass that on to the next generation so they not make that mistake. Because it's hard. It's not easy. Because a lot of us, we don't want to be compromised as males. We done been castrated, brother. We done been hung. We done been with so many struggles. So we look at it like, I'm not going to let nobody fucking pussy me in no kind of way. But we can't live like that. You right, Freeze.
No, you can't. Because see, the reality is, when you know who you are, then it really doesn't matter what anybody on this planet says you are.
Absolutely.
If it ain't what you are. When you know who you are. If you don't know who you are, there's a million jacks that'll step up and tell you who you are, and you might buy any one of them.
Thank you.
So when you know, just know who you are, and you don't have to worry about all of that. The main thing is protecting yourself and your family, man.
Thank you. And that's what's, I don't know, like, what do you think, Freeze? You've seen it. Just from a man stepping back from being in the military, from being a man that's seen what's going on with the gang culture and everything else, seeing the riots and everything of that nature, brother. What can be done right now? You see what's happening right now. What can be done, brother?
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is my personal belief, and a lot of people don't agree, and I don't really give a damn because I know how I feel.
Absolutely.
Number one, you got to be, I say, stay prayed up. Prayer is so powerful. I can't even explain it. I really can't. But I live by it, and I just say, stay prayed up, man. Be prayed up and be down for anything. Be down for anything. You might have to stop. You know, just because you don't want to stop doesn't mean that it ain't going to happen. You may have to. And if you do have to, you need prayer on your side. So, number one, stay prayed up. Number two, just think, man. If you know, look at your car. Look, you go back. Is my registration good? Are my lights working? Look at the stuff to keep you out of their way.
Thank you.
Try to stay out of their way. Just stay out their way, man.
You're right.
I don't even want to deal with them. I don't even like looking at them. I'm not trying to content them. I'm trying to make it home safely. And if you can't do all of that, well, get your phone out. If you feel threatened, call 911. If they pull you over and you feel threatened, call 911. I just got pulled over and I feel threatened. I do not feel safe. I feel my life is in danger right now while dealing with this police officer. Even if nothing else happens, at least it's documented. You understand?
Exactly, and that's what's crazy too, because it's like when my wife, she was playing a clip from one of the police officers. She was a female, it was a black woman, and she was just explaining. I don't know if you've seen it, brother, but she was on Facebook just explaining how she felt like the motherfuckers was bad officers, what they did. So when she was explaining her situation, she placed the thing out and it went viral. So basically everybody latched onto it, so the backlash comes. So then she does a press conference, and when she did the press conference, brother, she's trying to like compromise what she said. And that's what I feel. It's like it comes at the end of the day, it's like, all right, if we going to be how we are, let's just be how we are fully. Everything's gonna come with it, the bullshit's gonna come with it, but we have to have that safety net for ourselves. The brother that killed all of these people, the dude that's murdering all of these people and doing these things of that nature, and all these officers and all these killings, when you go on their GoFundMe page, $60,000 is right there within instantly. That's the problem. Yeah. Our shit ain't like that, and that's what's the issue. The sister felt like she had to compromise what she was saying because there's no safety net. We ain't backing her, so she felt like, all right, these niggas ain't gonna back me. I gotta run back to these folks because they put me in a good space, and that's the issue. It's like if she felt there was a wrong, the sister should be able to express herself in an honest nature, and if she's not able to express herself in an honest nature, how is she able to benefit the community as being a police officer and also her family? Because her young daughter gotta look at that shit, because these videos and these talkings and all the shit, you know, Freez, it don't go away, brother.
Yeah, I just think what I think that people have to do is really just remember we're all humans, man. It's not cool for anybody, whether they be a police officer, whether they be a regular civilian, a citizen. We cannot operate on the program, on the battery, on the remote. Absolutely. We have to stop and remember that we're all humans. You're right. And if you're on autopilot and you're a cop, let me tell you, the system is not in your favor. You might be cool in court, but you might do something that's going to change your life just because you're on autopilot and not thinking.
Thank you.
You got to think. Everyone has to stop and think and just pump your brakes and think about some shit, man. We're humans. Everybody's human, and nobody really wants to die. A lot of people talk that shit, but if that's the case, then how come everybody is scrapping if they underwater? They're trying to breathe, baby. Everybody wants to live, man. Nobody wants to die. So you just gotta be careful, man. You can't be people might get mad and all that, and injustice is a motherfucker. But nothing gets done without strategy and planning, man. So and flying off the handle, and I'm gonna whip all these, man. They got something for you, homie. They got it. They ready for that. What they're not ready for is the positivity. They're not ready for the smile. You understand?
You're right. And that's what it goes into, and that's what's crazy, because it goes into like the system of what's happening right now within our community on how we react or what do we do from here. So it's like I looked at the video of the debate between David Banner and Life Jennings, where it was basically, I guess David Banner was suggesting that people go and just get arms and go straight on, head on. And the other brothers are saying, like, how do you just tell people to just be martyrs, brother, because you don't know what's going on within their household. It's just like me and you talking right now, Freeze. They don't know that we gonna be impacted if we lose our lives and our families then have to strive to survive. They don't know that. And if we don't even have a safety net put to the side for y'all to be able to help us, what's going to happen? Malcolm, there was no safety net for his wife. Martin, there was no safety net for his wife. Mecca Evers, all of these brothers, there was no safety net. So these brothers lost their lives, but there was nothing there for them left when their family was still here, brother. And that's the problem that we have. It's like all these other cultures and all these other races, I don't really want to put it out there like that, but it's so true. They have so much there for them. The Jewish community has so much there for them that the country gives to them because of what occurred in the Holocaust. The Japanese have so much going for them because of what occurred during the Japanese war with America. These other people have a safety net. We do not have that. And since we don't push for that, and since we don't have the understanding or the collective to come together to try to fight for that, we always going to be like shattered glass, like the brother always says, just broken up. We don't know what's happening. I'm always going to be in different places.
Because I'm about to break out. I got to leave, but I want to leave on this note. What you have to remember is just like I'm one generation, you're another generation. These kids that are coming out, they are a whole new generation. Whatever I didn't have, I try to pass down to your generation so y'all have. Whatever y'all don't have, collectively with what we don't have, we have to come together and make sure that these babies have. Because we may not have the right stuff, but if we don't consciously make sure that the next generation does, they won't have it either. So we have to be conscious. We have to think. We have to support each other. We have to care for each other. We have to be forgiving of each other. We have to move forward unified. If we're not unified, then we're just going to keep spinning and be out of here. We'll be done. That's real. They will wipe out our culture if we don't stick together and put the value on it ourselves. It's our job. It's our responsibility. And we can do it because we some bad motherfuckers. Period.
You're so right. And thank you, Freeze. And I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody listening. Please follow the brother Freeze in every aspect, whatever the brother's doing, shows and things of that nature, movies and everything else. Please continue the dialogue and everything.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, man. Much love, much respect. And man, I'm still following, so let's stay in touch, homie.
Absolutely, Freeze. Much love. Thank you, brother. Have a good night.
All right, homie. Thank you.